Life in Iraq remains difficult, a country ravaged by war where violence continues to increase. When Baghdad residents leave their house, they don't know if they'll return home alive. It's a real danger for all Iraqis, but especially for the Christian minority. The situation decisively worsened on October 31st when several terrorists entered the Syrian Catholic Cathedral of Baghdad as Mass was being celebrated.
The life of Christians in Iraq was, until then, more or less normal. There were explosions here and there, but things calmed down. But this time was different.
Upon entering the cathedral, the terrorists fired indiscriminately into the audience, leaving 58 dead and 75 wounded.
We tried to close the church door, but terrorists opened it with bombs. They came in looking for all the young men to kill them. No one tried to attack the terrorists. They began to kill children because their crying bothered them. They killed several crying children.
The attack in Baghdad's cathedral is unparalleled. Never had anything like this happened. They used to explode cars in markets and in the doors of churches to create a climate of confusion and terror in the city. With this latest attack in which they entered into the cathedral during Mass, they are clearly trying to drive Christians out of the country.
Around 27 people who were injured in this attack and their relatives have been welcomed by the Italian government and the Vatican at Rome's Gemelli Hospital. After this serious and deliberate attack against the Christian community, they're afraid, but they'll not relinquish their religion. They want to protect themselves and their families from being targeted for possible future attacks against Christians.
It was unthinkable. No one could believe what was happening in the church. Trying to imagine a slaughter is difficult, and it is that much more so when it occurs in a church.
I was hiding in the sacristy, but in one of the blasts, a piece of plaster fell on my head. Storming the church in this terrible way was unthinkable. Those who left safely from the attack still have horrible memories of what happened during those hours. We also lost 2 priests in the attack. They have died for their faith. They offered to die for the others, for the community that was in the church. They asked that they be killed in order to let the rest go free. But the terrorists would not agree. The martyrdom of these 2 priests strengthens us in our faith. I personally have felt the force of martyrdom from these 2 priests.
Despite the thousands of Christians killed for religious reasons, the horrors they've lived through, and the persecution they continue to suffer, the faith of these people is reinforced. Christians in Iraq have called for the global community's response to this hatred being committed against Christians. They trust that sooner or later, justice will be done. To defend the cause of Iraq, we need sensitive and honest lawyers to investigate the wrongs committed against the Iraqi people. No one has investigated the causes of these latest attacks, and this makes us despair and think that the authorities are complicit in this tragedy. After the attack, the church was closed. The next day, nobody could go in because it was being cleaned. All traces of the tragedy were eliminated. We want answers. There is only one God, and He knows who is guilty, and He knows how to deal justice to His children. Blood of martyrs, seed of Christians, a saying that is now being repeated in Iraq. Of the number of Christians, there's no more than 500,000 out of a population of 32 million people.